It's Tuesday, and you know what that means. It's actually time for something entirely different from what we do on Tuesdays, but that's okay. Because tonight we are here to celebrate and talk about a really badass product created by one of the scene's own. So we are here tonight to talk about Wall XD. I have a bunch more to unbox over here. But first and foremost, I want to introduce a very special guest, the man behind Wall XD. You might know him as High School Creations. We're going to call him Mike, though, tonight, because that's his name. Hey, man.
What's up, guys? How are you?
Good, good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And yeah, like I said, tonight we're here to do some live unboxing. We're going to talk about that back there or that down there or whatever. But most importantly, we are here to talk about this, your
Let's go.
baby. Um, yeah, man. Okay. First off, dude, stoked for you. These came out so good, and they are
Thank you.
so much fun. Yeah, I know there's a bunch of people in the chat already. The COJ is popping off with some questions too. So we'll get to them in just a sec. But yeah, Mike, do you want to give a quick rundown of what Wall XD is before we dive in for those who don't know?
Sure. Little background. I'm a diorama builder. I've been building pretty strongly in the hobby for like the past 7 years, but always been a creative at heart. About 3 years ago, I got the idea. I want to do something, after building so many, that something that really resonated with me and for the community. And that was a diorama that not only was structurally solid, right? The foam ones we build are great, but they're very sensitive to heat, very sensitive to being nicked with your fingernail. Something that was tough, something that is modular, something that is customizable, and something that's expandable. And so the idea came for Wall XD. Actually, one of the original prototypes me and my son put together with the laser was made out of foam and took that simple design, the brick design. The brick, goes with so many different action figure lines, works so well. So started out with bricks and came up with something, that fit all those things, right? And created Wall XD.
Hell yeah. So real quick, I actually was trying to pull up the Kickstarter page, but it only should let me show updates. So there's that handsome devil with a shitload of Wall XDs right off the pallet. But again, like you were talking expandable, like that's insane.
Yeah,
Um,
that's 7 times. I think I was going for the sixth layer there. So whatever 7 times 6 is, 42 or something like that.
hell yeah.
But yeah, it's impressive of how big and how stable those were, right? I knew I could do 2 or 3 with the prototypes, but having 1,500 to play with in the shop, like it can get big, dude. It's been fun.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
Well, and the cool thing, well, you know what? Hold on. I'm gonna bust one of these open. This is a fresh one that I haven't touched. Real quick. I'm also gonna switch this because I feel like there's a lot of empty room. Wink. Oh, there we go. Uh, but yeah. So what you get in each packaging is some bitchin' stickers. Or stickers.
That sexy logo, by the way, is by the Chamba. If you guys
Hell
ever
yeah,
look him
Chamba.
up.
Who's actually live right now over on Chatmigos.
There you go.
So shout out, but stay here because this is fun too. You can catch their replay. Little flyer with instructions.
The instructions are for Kev. He had trouble with Modoc, so there you go, Kev.
And then a really, really well packed Wall XD. So as we do on this channel, I hope. So you have your base, which is exquisitely detailed out. I imagine you had a hell of a great crew working with you on these, right? Doing like kind of the finishes and whatnot on them,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. So, big shout out, and it's on the backs. If you guys have received Wall XC, flip it over. There's the team. Just give them a shout out. Yoko helped with the Kickstarter and a lot of the campaign. Mario and Machu, 796 Studios, and Matt helped with the R&D for how we were going to paint these. And then Ponchizi helped with a lot of the display and helped write a lot of the Kickstarter. So shout out to the team that helped with that. The process, now that Matt and Mario helped us achieve what we wanted with the walls, have really created a process that 2 or 3 people can work through a couple hundred in about a week. I just actually finished another 250 that'll be going out to finish the campaign off today. So exciting stuff.
That's amazing. And so real quick, so this looks, like a lot of the dioramas, that people will buy and whatnot that's made of foam, but
Right.
this is injection molded, yeah? Like this is
It's injection molded here, actually USA made. So I'm working with a factory here in the United States. So this is
oh,
100%
fantastic.
USA made. Um, one of the things also that I like to show off is if you put a light up to the back of it, it does not shine through. It is actually pretty thick.
So, and there's your connecting tabs
Yeah.
too. So
So
sorry. Whoop.
exactly right. So if you just want to do a single display, you can do it that way. Or
Sure.
if you want to expand it, there's your tabs.
Heck yeah, and they do have them on top. As you see, I stacked them up there. Since they're in detolfs, and these are standard with detolfs and stuff like that, so they fit beautifully. I'm also sitting here going, oh shit, Giant Man's coming soon. Like maybe that'll stay there. I don't know. But yeah, this is so rad, man. Like as a dude who I don't know, I used to make this stuff. I used to just hand draw it, and I'd like paint them up, and that'd be my backdrops. This is so friggin' cool. I really haven't done too much with futzing with them because this came in just the other day, and I messaged you immediately. I was like, "Hey man, they're in. Let's go." But oh, Jamie Lynn says, by the way, Dave, if you want to see the Kickstarter, scroll down just about. Oh, okay. I just had missed that. That's my bad. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna pop this up here just so you can see the friggin' detail that went into it.
Yeah, so a few by the paint applications. There is obviously the grout color is the gray color. There's the stippled on brick color that's variations in brick to make it more realistic.
Yeah,
There is the top trim that is then grayed, and then there is a subtle wash.
I
Some
was
are
gonna say.
darker than others. Yeah,
You can see the wash on top. I know that from doing years and years of dio making myself, but it's fun because this adds that that finish that makes it that much cooler. Like because you could have left this thing. I know that you had artist proofs as a variation, which was just that was raw plastic, right? Or were they grayscale? I
they're
can't.
grayscaled,
Okay.
but yeah, it's pretty much raw plastic. But you want to prime those, but exactly right. There's the artist proof for those like you that just want to paint, right? That don't
Yeah.
want to build or cut the foam. There are versions out there. I stole that from Toddy Mac actually, the artist proof.
Hey man, it
But
works.
yeah.
But I mean, look. Okay, I'm okay. Both hands, but it's on there, man.
Oh
Like
yeah, the
I'm,
friction fit. Yeah, it's tight.
well, that was okay. Like legitimately, for as a dude who did a lot of has done a lot of construction in his life, as a contractor and such, and set design and stuff. The fact that this is so rigid and like it's just together, and I can just as easily pop it apart. Like
It's
that's astonishing, man. Like
I
that is
work with the factory very closely to make sure those tolerances were there, right? Whole idea was to keep this thing simple. We had those cool sets, ubiquitous a few years ago, super cool, much electronics, but putting them together, dude, would be taxing on your thumb. And I knew I
yeah,
wanted something that was super easy to stay together and then put together. And it's not going to be pieces that you lose.
yeah.
So kind of the
No.
idea behind it. Keep it simple.
Well, and I know with the Kickstarter there were also add-ons in the backer kit after the fact, and those are still coming later this year, early. God dang, that's cool.
Later this year, still working with the factory. Got the corners and molding and tooling now. But here's some
Yeah,
examples.
I'm gonna
So
pop you over full screen. So
there you go. So a few of the examples here. You got AC units. You got lights. There are utility panels. Sorry, I don't have any on hand. There's also a garage door plate that utilizes these two pegs here that covers up this entire window.
oh wow,
So there's a bunch of cool accessories. You can see them. They're a little lighter color, but there's 14 different pegs all around the system. If you flip it onto the back, you can see them more clearly.
for
But
sure.
those are for the accessories that are coming, and there's also more coming too. I hope to be able to announce in the future.
Very cool. I was gonna say because when you were talking about this, you were saying that it's a system. Like you have a lot planned. And actually, I'm going to go back to this. Then I'm going to go to this. Then I'm going to go to that, and then I'm going to go to this. Boink. So there's the corner
Look
add-ons
at you
that you were
go.
talking about. Again,
Exactly.
so you can just build them out. That's so friggin' dope. And that boink. There's the stretch goal of the garage or warehouse door. I'm trying to find the other one right now, so bear with me.
Yeah, so in the Kickstarter, we unlocked the accessories and the garage plate. The corners we didn't get to, but after the Kickstarter, there was so much hype about them. I committed to having them done, so put them up for pre-order immediately. Corners are in tooling now. Um, and then the accessories are going in right after them. But yeah, this the corners changes this, right? This goes from
Oh
a
yeah,
single pane of glass or one dimensional display. You could do
build it
corners to
out.
make alleys. I don't know if you went to decon or saw any pictures from decon last year. I had a 3-story 360 building. The corners really changes the game for what you can do with this set, and it very much is an ecosystem. Someone, it was Stupid Sandwich, said so. Wall XD is
Other,
basically the Lego set for action figure diorama kits. Exactly. I don't want to get sued by Lego, but that's what it is, right? It's an entire ecosystem that I hope to keep building on, specifically for like street level characters or displays like that. Do have thoughts on future lines, but gonna play it out here with the street for Wall XD. Maybe one more go, one more pass at it, and then move on to a different theme. But
hell yeah. I
um,
so my psycho ass actually has something in wait to already start modding. I have one of those fire escape shelves.
nice,
Because once this is all done in here, I got all the measurements from you from the Kickstarter and whatnot, and I was like, all right, this is what I'm doing. This is how it's going to build out. This is what's going to go on. And
nice,
I showed my lovely wife that the other day, and she's like, when are you going to have time for this? I don't know. But it's going to be great. I do want to shoot it out to the COJ too, which by the way, hello COJ, how's it going, everybody? Please, we're going to be answering questions, or rather, Mike's going to be answering questions because I don't know shit here in just a little bit. So please, if you have questions, drop them in the chat. I'll be getting to them, and we'll kind of round robin it. I was trying to find some decon pictures, but it pulled up, the mice killer instead of the designer con. That's my bad.
that's right.
Didn't think that one
The
through.
wrong decon.
Who knew? But like again, dude, the fact that like this is something that I feel like has made a lot of this a lot more attainable for a lot of folks. Because I know there were some people who went, "Oh, that's expensive," but then you look at what a custom diorama would cost, and this is insanely cool. This is insanely expensive, or inexpensive, rather, for what you're going for. I mean, again, like that's three of them stacked up. You have a building. You can throw whatever on there. I mean, that's actually the best action Donatello that came with Metalhead because it was still on my desk. But for scale, like that's insane. Like if
Yeah,
here,
that's 36 inches tall right there.
yeah, here for scale, Mazinger. There we go. Please don't roll. Um,
And something else too, they're lightweight. You picked it up.
yeah,
It's plastic. It's HIPS plastics where it's made out of. Very
yeah.
thinned out, but still very rigid. But it's not heavy. It's not going to break your DTOF shelves. Dioramas, when they get big, they do tend to get heavy sometimes, even though
They,
they're made of foam.
I was gonna say I have a diorama over on my turtle shelf by Aaron, our friend, made in 1979 customs, and even at that, it's foam. But every time I have to take it out and move it, I go, oh shit! Like I forget. Like, and thankfully that's on a wooden shelf instead of glass. But it's definitely one of those things of this has made something much more attainable, I guess, for I don't want to say the common person, but like it's much more readily available. Like there's a lot of people like I know if you told me 10 years ago like, hey man, do you know who High School Creations, or do you know who Vasco, or this, like you got to know people in the community who do this stuff, and know folks that are reliable to make it. Thankfully, there are a shitload of absolutely amazing diorama makers, but that doesn't mean that there aren't a bad apple here or there. Um, oh, here we go. So at some point, these will be available online for people that weren't on Kickstarter, right? That would be the website for that. That is your website, correct?
Yeah, highschoolcreations.com. They are up for pre-order. Artist proofs are shipping out. We've already fulfilled all those, so I feel okay with putting those up for instant order. Walls are pre-order until we fulfill all backers on Kickstarter. They backed it first. Want to make sure they have first dibs. But I'll be honest, we have inventory waiting on the sidelines. As soon as I have all the Kickstarters fulfilled, these will be up and be shipping out. So everybody's pre-orders will go out, and then they'll be basically readily available while supplies last.
For sure. And here, actually, I'll do this real quick because you have, oh, here, boink. You have your system kind of laid out here, and I think this goes through this and there we go. So you can actually reverse so you can reverse the corners so that it ends up.
Yeah, so the corners actually come as a set. You get both the inside and outside corner as a set. So it in itself is actually bigger than the main wall
Yeah,
when you have them together, which is cool because you get both. You basically get 4 wall panels, 2 corners and 2 sidewalk pieces as a set when you purchase the corner set.
and these are your pegs for mounting in, correct?
Yep. Pegs, there's, what could be the design. There are some teasers to unlocks in the original Kickstarter we never got to. Some of them we did.
Right.
There's the AC unit. And again, these just take advantage of that integrated peg system that's throughout the wall.
I love that you have Spidey just chilling. Uh,
Looking for food.
yeah,
Tough for Spidey.
everybody needs a sandwich,
There we go.
Just
Wasn't
because-
nothing in there. Throw it away.
Jamie Lynn said, for anyone who may be thinking it, I have one, and the quality and versatility is superior to NECA Street Scene. Just saying. No, I'm with you on that. I actually, my street scenes are all packed away. I was going to have them out here for comparison, and I will say, like, and this isn't crapping on NECA or anything like that. Like, I think the NECA street scenes are great. The Wall XD stuff, though, like I said, the NECA street scene, I wouldn't feel comfortable holding like this. This thing is rock frigging solid. I had way too much fun when I was putting those ones together, because like I kept on putting them up, and then I was like, I wonder if I could do this, and like I just started like moving people, like moving shit around, and it was fun. Like again, that's 3 tall, and it had a little waggle going that way, but as soon as I put it up against the back wall, it's like, oh, we're good. And again, the idea of the corners and everything that are coming along is very exciting. Again, those are also available for pre-order right now on highschoolcreations.com, so make sure to go over and check that out. Again, like if you guys have any street level characters, whether that be superheroes, supervillains, even if you just have slice of life characters walking around, one of the things that I'm very excited for, if I hadn't already packed it up, I got some of those old grapple gear accessories from WWF, and there's a hot dog cart. And you best believe
That's good look, though.
Oh yeah, yeah, hell yeah, right? Like,
yeah. So 2 things. Since you brought it up, NECA street scenes, love them. I think they are very cohesive. Like if you got one behind a Wall XD or Wall XD behind one, they're cohesive for shots, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think they complement each other well. The second thing is, once you start building Wall XD, especially single tier 3 high, they're going to get a little wobbly just due to physics. But you slap on a few corners, or you go 2 or 3 wide, and increase your stability. So as you go big, think of also going wide.
That's a very different one, Shaggy, but I'm sure the hardcore hack hot dog cart would work just fine as well. I believe it had launching can action because Toy Biz liked missiles in everything, including hot dog carts. Also, there's other great products available on High School Creations too. So just saying, everybody needs a dumpster. I shit you not, I've had that page bookmarked for far too long, but I need to blow up this studio before I get around to actually being able to make that happen. But yeah, again, like I feel dumb driving this point home. Like the fact that it is quite literally that easy. It is just plug and play, and it comes together super easy. It is remarkable. Like again, it's the thing of being able to make this readily available for folks is I think a huge step in figure collecting and stuff, because again, all the stuff that has been similar to this has either been way smaller or way too big, because I know I could fit this in my office or my old apartment or anything like that. I wouldn't have been able to fit a NECA street scene. It's too damn, it's too big. This, is what, 1 foot by 1 foot, and then the edge piece adds on an inch.
Yeah, so it's basically 13 inches with the tab covers, and then 12 inches tall, and then about 5 inches deep if you count the
Yeah,
sidewalk
yeah.
there. So
But again, this can fit on a Billy bookcase shelf. Like this can, I mean, again, it's. I'm sorry that I'm gushing over the fact of the modularity that you included in this, but the fact that you can literally put this on just about any standard shelf that's out there is pretty damn cool.
yeah,
I went to school down in Savannah, Georgia, and we had door opening, or over the door openings, we had like kind of not lentils; those are go in soup. Yeah, I don't know the proper term for it. No, the door casing. Those went out about 4 inches on some of the
yeah.
places that I lived.
Oh,
Also,
you could slap one of those up there for sure.
right, and
Yeah.
I haven't futzed with getting the window coverings out yet, so I'm like, but you just got to push. There we go.
They snap out pretty easy, and then when
Oh
you
yeah,
put them back in, they are a
it's
little
it's
flexible. So
oh yeah, it's that first time doing it, where it's just like,
yeah, yeah.
molding that's lentil. Lentil. Thank you, Gerwal. But yeah, now you can. I don't know why this is entertaining to me,
Hello.
but hello. Um, but again, like for you can Muppet show it. Uh,
There you go.
but again, for scale, you know, there we go. Like that's pretty awesome.
It's
Again,
definitely riding the line between want to make sure it fits. 112 varies, right? You got Figma all the way to McFarlane, right? And you got to try to get it to fit all in there. Obviously, you got perspective, but
McFarlane figure on? I don't know if I have a McFarlane figure. Oh, I do have a McFarlane figure. I have whoop, my custom Nightwing that I finished up a couple weeks ago.
ooh,
Whoop. So McFarlane figure hanging out on there. I don't know where his head
not
went.
to jinx it, but this would be where your sidewalk falls off.
Yeah, there's a
Oh, it's
there's
actually holding up on there. Okay.
there's a Mezco Spidey. Um, so yeah, scale wise, it works wonders. Oh no. Ah,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Toy
uh,
down.
it's okay. I dropped one of Nightwing's batons. I'll find that later. I'm not gonna worry about it right now. But yeah, I thought you were gonna pull out Toddy Mac. No, Toddy Mac is already boxed up. Um, but yeah, I don't know what. So I know this was a couple years in the making of you figuring out, all the stuff. Like, what were some of the challenges you faced along the way? I mean, I know you're a very experienced diorama builder, but this was at such a huge scale. I'm just curious because
Yeah.
yeah, going from customs and one-offs and more artisan side of things to a mass-produced item had to be a challenge.
Oh, for sure. And I'm still learning still every day. I think what year is it now? 2004. Started talking about this in 2001. Kicking around the idea. I think as I've always built, I've always tried to
It's been
think,
a
how do
while.
I? Wow, there's a big spider right there. Hold on
Uh-oh.
one second.
I know it's
Right near me.
get him! Get him!
Anybody that capture that, please get my freak of a spider on YouTube. So capture that, please. I think it's still on me, but I'm gonna go back to this question and not worry about the spider.
I believe in you.
I've always tried to build so I could like in the back of my mind, like I started with lasers, CNCs, like replicating what I was doing. If I did it once, maybe I could do it again, right? Let's just try to
Yeah.
build and template it. And that got me into my first couple of pieces, which you could actually buy the design for Wall XD in foam form off my Etsy in 2001. And I
Oh, dang.
sold about 20 of those. Didn't know that would be the design then, but I chose to do it because there was that sentimental background with my kids. And it was such a simplistic design that lent itself to being able to do something like with Wall XD, right? Something that's producible, something
Yeah.
that could be linked up, something that could scale and still look good, right? But I think the biggest challenges for me were just, some of the Kickstarter, the nuances with Kickstarter and launching something like that.
Yeah.
I did a lot of like reading books about Kickstarter, because people just think it's the campaign, but there's all the work before the campaign, right? There's the work after the campaign, which is what I'm doing now. And the other big challenge and something I wanted to do was I didn't take this all over to China, right? I wanted to do it in the
Yep.
United States. I knew I wanted it injection molded because that's the rigidity, the toughness of the part, but I wanted to finish it, right? I wanted to package it. I wanted to be the last person to touch it before it got in the hands of you guys. So I wanted to be a part of that factory. And there were a lot of lessons learned there, right? Here we are, a little over a year and a half later, getting product out to people's hands, but it's not as quick as I wanted, right? And next time it'll be faster. But learning those processes and working with teams, because when you build small diodes, like you're working solo, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm knocking out 1,500 diodes in less than 3 months, right?
Uh,
That's crazy.
I was gonna say this is an example of some of your work just as it exists in the world. Your handmade artisanal dioramas that you made. Um, and like, I just wanted to give a shout out because it's always fucking rad to see this stuff and always insane to see. But the fact of being able to get something even remotely close to that level at a retail level or a mass retail level is sick. Like that's so cool. Oh, here Josh Brown's got a question for you.
I think it's a good question. I think so, Josh. That's where I want to be within the industry that I'm trying to make for myself, is a part of the process, right? Because I actually get to see the end of it. I get to see it before it goes out. And that's the part I geek out about, right? Seeing the process, the paint, like the technology behind it. If I could go be on the floor at, the shop that does the injection molding, I'd be doing that too, to learn how they do that. I think so, Josh Brown. I think I'll always be a part of it at some level. But if there's like 50,000 pieces, if we do a run in the future and you guys just go hand with it, I may need to outsource that.
Yeah,
But
that's
if we
cool.
keep it, smaller quantities, 2,000-3,000, I will definitely be having hands on with those paint applications at least.
There was where'd it go? There was someone who messaged me a question earlier. This is not Wall XD, but this was another one of your dioramas. But they said, "How long before you think we can get a mini mic?" And I'm like, I don't know if he's going to make that readily available. I don't think that's going to be
You know where
something.
that's from? That little
No.
miniature sculpt? I was in a show that was filmed in Canada called Best in Miniatures season
Oh yeah,
3.
yeah. I've seen clips of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so, one of the first days before we started filming, they're like, "Hey, this is gonna be a part of the show," and everybody has a little, figurine of themselves, and when you're eliminated, you get swiped off the camera at some point, and
Oh,
they end up mailing it to each one of us afterwards.
that's rad.
But you can go and get one made of yourself. They do all these camera angles, and then they print one out. It's called like shrunkme or something.com.
Oh yeah, yeah. They actually well, I don't know if they still do. They had one of those shops in Mall of America that
There you
you could
go.
go in and get photographed, and then it was come back in an hour and you'd be printed out. Never a dull moment. But the cool thing is, so one of the things I've been trying to focus here on the channel about is kind of the indie toy making process. Last week we had Dave and well, we had the crew from Monstores as well as 9 to 5 Warriors on here talking two very excitable gentlemen who are very passionate about what they're making. Um, and again, we're in this kind of golden age of indie toy making, as it were. I mean, I feel weird calling the Wall XD an indie toy, but I mean, you are a new toy maker. This is your like first mass produced thing. Like
Yeah.
this is such an insanely cool thing, and like Josh was insinuating of you being able to kind of every single piece that comes through, really it shows, and also adds that I don't know, palpable feel of feeling like you're part of something a little bit more than like a just mass market random figure. I'm not saying that because this is the best action figure. I'm just saying like a figure that there's thousands upon thousands upon thousands made. Um, these still feel special. Like these still feel like it's kind of silly. Granted, it's probably because I also do customs and stuff, but it's like I can feel this and feel the couple layers of the different like paints, and like
Yep.
the wash gives it a different texture in certain parts, and it's
Yeah.
kind of like, I don't know. They are artisanal dioramas, yes. Um, but yeah, man, like I so I guess I should have started with this. A little background on you. You've been doing this for a long time. You've been making dioramas for a very long time. Um, did you think that this was did you think that this was going to be feasible out the gate? Like, was this something that you were like, yeah, this is just going to be a home run, or were you kind of hesitant on it, or like I don't know, like it's one of those things. I come from the comic side of things, man. So it's always you go in and go, well, here we go, like
Yeah.
give it a go, see what happens. Um, so it's a little different.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Thank you.
I've always been one that had like big dreams. Like when I started building, like, oh, there's thoughts of, oh, I could do it this way. Like I think I've been like, what is it called in Dragon Ball Z, where they're like training mentally in their head. Like I've always been thinking about doing something like this. And finally it just came down to the motivation, the community support, and the home support. And somebody was just like, dude, stop thinking about it and just go do it. And I was like, okay,
Yeah, all
let's
right.
do this, right? Now it just doesn't happen like that, right? And when you talk about, I'm not done, right? I'm still, to
Yeah,
me, like I'm still watching that pitch come in. I'm ready to hit, right? I'm still watching that pitch. But if I was looking at myself 5 years ago, I would think that, I'd hit a home run. But actually being here, I'm like, I'm still watching the pitch. Like I'm not done.
yeah,
I still got a big hit coming, I hope.
yeah.
So we'll
It's
see.
it's dude, a hell of a first pitch. Let's just say that. Like, cause yeah, this again, the product as a whole, like from start to finish, you've been very transparent with everything, which is also something that can't be said about a lot of Kickstarters. I mean, like, when stuff was, when you were getting stuff to the factory, when you were getting samples back, when you were doing all that, you were very communicative throughout the entire process of the Kickstarter, and I feel like you've been very upfront about the products and stuff coming out. Like you were saying, like when I was piling figures on the thing, when I'm holding it like this, you're like, this is when it drops. Like it's like the that to me shows how much you do care about the product, though, because you're still, even at this point, you have a finished product that's absolutely gorgeous, and you're still going, ah. Like,
Yeah.
you have.
That's just me, right? Like I said, if it wasn't for the community, I wouldn't be here. So if I'm not, and I kind of feel like maybe with some of the Kickstarters, I could be more. That's where I'm seeing like, what can I do better next time, right? But um, no, I'm very passionate about this, right? And this is me. I'm putting myself out here, and I want to deliver the best that I can with the budget that I got, right? Unfortunately, I don't have, no knock to Hasbro and any of the bigger manufacturer of toy industries, but I am small. I'm a two-person at this point operation. Um, that wants to do something and and act like a Hasbro, right? And this is my first steps of doing it. But the way to get there is transparency, working with community, being honest. Like we've had delays. The corners are delays. I
Yeah,
wanted the corners out by now. The accessories are delays. These things are going to happen, right? And you just got to have those hard conversations up front. If I wait a year to tell you, hey, nothing's coming out,
yeah.
it's even worse, right?
Well, yeah.
So you just have to have those conversations up front, and there are going to be people that are upset, right? Okay,
I,
what can I do to make it better for you?
yeah, I will always think of growing up, like when I started to understand the kind of inside baseball type thing, with the toy industry and such. I always remember the big one that they would always come around to was, Chinese New Year. Like, it's production's late. Chinese New Year, and you're just like, it's October. Like, look up when Chinese New Year is. Like it's one of those things. Like the fact that you're so transparent and stuff, I think speaks volumes. Also, I say this as a dude who's gotten to know you a little bit over the last year and change. But it speaks volumes of you as a person too. Also, hello Darth, what's up, dude?
What's up?
Josh Brown would like to add, hey Mezco, take notes. Uh, don't invoke their name. They'll release a 5 POA system. Anyways, um, but it's one of those things of like again, looking at this, looking at the possibilities, I may or may not have enjoyed a rattle can or two as a youngster, as well as paint markers and slap ups and stuff. But anyways, the fact that you can also tag these, like these are painter ready. I had one friend who got this previous week to me, and he dropped off a couple of these, and I tagged them up for him.
Oh, nice.
And I just sealed them up, here you go. And yeah, so he has a very fantastic, um, you know, display now. That's kind of again more unique. The fact
That's
that
what
it
they're
is,
for, though. They're
yeah,
a blank canvas, right? Even if you don't get the artist proof, they are a blank wall. If you have any kind of creative, vein, or you're an artist, like look at that. Just
yeah.
tag them, do something with them, put some stickers on them. But yeah, they're a canvas.
And I legitimately like I already have plans in my head with some of them because I have a few spare stickers laying around.
Nice.
Uh, so it's been one of those things also of just kind of trying to figure out like, okay, like what do I want to do? What is this canvas? What can I do with it? I'm ADD. That's just me. Uh, just just slap that on because I was like, that's kind of cool. It'll be a branded one. But
There you go.
again, like the possibilities are endless. You made something that's super super modular that's also customizable. Mixie says add magnets to make a Spidey wall crawl. Hey, I'll just
Actually, the feet fit right into the brick peg holes pretty easy. Machu did that last year at Decon, and it actually looked really good. But yeah, you could slap some metal on the back of it. It's thin enough that if you have like the Mafex Spider-Man with the magnetic feet, I'm pretty sure that it'll stick.
damn it. I have all my Mafex are backed up, but I do have a Spider-Man right here,
There you
so I'm
go.
gonna just bear with me. Oh, Josh says I meant notes on communication. There we go. I'm going to just stick. eh, Damn it. Trying to get this where I can have him have a handhold on something. This isn't awkward or anything. Quality on
It's like
air.
typing with somebody watching.
Yeah. Oh wow, they really do fit. Okay, well, it's not pretty, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
But he's on there. I'm not going to shake that too hard, but
Have a flying Spidey.
um,
There you go.
he flew. Uh,
He jumped.
let Spidey come back. Uh, Gwen, no. Uh, but with these, I guess like what is I feel really cliche saying like what is your hope for the Wall XD project and Wall XD kind of ecosystem as you described it? I know you mentioned that you want to run with this for a bit and then possibly move to another form. Not you didn't say format, genre. Did you say?
Theme?
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember how exactly you put it, but um, yeah. Just what are your hopes and dreams?
Yeah, I would like to do another couple waves of the street scene, specifically Wall XD here. Um, get maybe a few more items that would make this a legit building, make it a legit scene for maybe New York or even LA. Um, expand on the expandability when it comes to like either
I'm trying to get the
uh
window insert back in, and I just
compatible parts, etc. Um, maybe do that once or twice, and then move on to a new theme that's still compatible with Wall XD, which would be interesting. Have definitely got some inputs from the community of what they want to see next, but I definitely want to make sure it's compatible with these walls so that these sets are all cohesive within the XD line,
for
XD
sure.
being expandable display. So that's the hopes, that's the dream. We'll see. I really am so focused on kind of the next couple of parts here coming with the factory that once those have made it through and we are getting good feedback from this, that I still have that positivity to move forward. Um, not that I think there's going to be anything, but that's how I work, right? I want to make sure things are
Yeah, yeah.
released quality before I get too far, right? Get the horse before the cart. With that said, though, I have at least three themes that I want to really tap into with the XD line, and I'm hoping to get there. One of them really being sci-fi. I don't know when that's going to be, and I really want to approach some sort of Western type theme as well. I think those are two heavy hitters. I don't know exactly how I'll do that, and I still want them to match up with Wall XD. So that means that they will still be part compatible. So I'm presenting myself with some challenges here publicly, but that's what I want to do.
For sure. And like this is curiosity. There's a diorama maker that I've enjoyed watching make some things, and it kind of follows in your footsteps of what you did with Wall XD. And he's doing more, or they're doing more one-offs. But beat I always screw it up. BT Dat DBS.
Yeah.
Dude's doing some crazy shit too. Like I feel like that would be right up your alley of an expandable area. There it is out of foam. Um, but would you think of going down almost a route like that, or would you be going more for like other types of architecture, or more industrial looking, or like what? I'm curious now. I'm just picking your brain just 'cause.
Yeah. I'm a fan of the industrial grungy kind of
Mhm.
look. So anything that I'm going to go down will probably lean towards that, dialing it back a little bit from like my customs, but still having that flair.
For sure.
Um, but when it comes to like more for Wall XD, I think we're going to see what I hope we're going to see maybe at first run is more residential type because I really want to play
Oh,
into
okay.
those Spider-Man themes, and
Yeah, yeah,
then come in with like the next wave of being more industrial type parks, more of back alleyways. So that way you can build alleys, you can build residential scene, you can basically get any kind of New York scene. I
yeah,
teased last year at Decon modular storefronts.
yeah.
You showed up that picture earlier of the mini mic in front of that storefront in that
Yeah,
tall building, right? That's me playing with designs and stuff like that. That will still be compatible with Wall XD. So,
that's super cool.
I'm teasing a lot of stuff. So,
Oh
I
yeah, no,
can't commit
and
to
I,
any of that, but that's what I want to hope and get to, and I'm planning for it. Just got to
hell yeah.
get there, right?
No, and yeah, and it's that thing of it's such an open door that's where it's just like, oh man, like where are you
Yeah,
running with it?
yeah.
Oh, Mixie said, oh, that's a good idea. I can make up some posters and sell them as stickers. That's a good idea. Josh Brown says, does the factory you use make anything else cool, or can you say?
I don't know that I can say, but also I think Wall XC is the coolest thing they're making right now.
Ooh, shit, that's fair. And you know,
Yeah.
um, anyways, uh, like again, the storefront that you were talking about is so damn cool. Honestly, the fun thing is, I mean, you could, God damn it, I keep flipping the sides of which one's on. Have you thought about just even doing another colorway? Um, because you could do,
Absolutely. Just
do.
another go ahead, sorry.
Oh no, I was saying like even, you know, beige brick, white brick, like any of the other, building um brick colors. I mean, you could go any which way.
So
Maybe.
I plan in future if we do future Kickstarters, like on wave 2 or 3, that there will be alternate colors that you can just buy walls of. You won't have to buy a wall and base. You can buy just the wall. That'll be a little bit cheaper for you as add-ons with different colors. Like I keep mentioning, I want this to all be cohesive and fit together. So there's always going to be availability for that, at least in my mind. Um, Also at Decon last year, I did tease beige. I thought beige looked dope against the brick. So you could do like a beige front and then side bricks like an alley, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And just colors just really set it off. And I think
It's
that's a great idea, something I
yeah,
hope to achieve.
just those storefronts, like I mean, I always think of, okay, I'm born and bred Minneapolis, so it was always the thing of, you'd have like a green storefront, and then you'd go past it, and they only painted like 10 feet back, and the rest would be, the raw
Brick.
brick.
Yeah. Yeah.
As greens, reds, blues. There's a building in Uptown that's taupe. That's how I found out what the color taupe was. Um, as I was instructed. But yeah, like I think you have a product here that's adding and creating versatility for displays for collectors. as well as bringing that option to maybe more of the casual collector too. Again, you pay for what you get, and what you get is a really high quality product. But the fact that, again, I showed this to my lovely wife, and she was like, "Oh, that's really fucking cool." Like, like she thought that was super rad. And she's a historic preservation of architecture major, so it was that thing
That's
of like,
cool. Yeah.
like that kind of idea of like, oh wow, okay, like she sees it and goes, oh, she's appreciating it for an entirely different reason that I'm appreciating it for. I'm looking at it going, haha, toys.
Yeah.
She's looking at it and going, oh wow, that's really well done.
Well,
So
I'm a fan of architecture. One of the reasons I got into diorama making, I always wanted to go be an architect. It's what I want to major in. Unfortunately, I didn't get in the school of choice, and life happens. But this is my way that I can still do that. I can still build in miniature. I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. A lot of historical buildings and stuff where I get all my inspiration for like my builds. So I'm
yep.
glad that somebody somewhere recognizes some architecture there.
Well, and both of us went to school down in Savannah, Georgia. So I lived in Savannah, Georgia
Okay,
for 5 years. So yeah, know it
you
well.
understand. Yeah.
Yeah. Legitimately, I looked when I first saw the prototype with the brick and whatnot in it. When you showed off the first painted thing, there is a building called Petter Hall on SCAD's campus in Savannah, and it is that historic red brick. And I was just like, oh shit! Like I like it. It was that weird, like, I don't want to say nostalgia, but it was that thing of just like, oh, yeah, I remember that. I know that shade of red. I know that shade of red real
Yeah.
well. That's historic red. Uh, but yeah, man, no. Like, not only did you do like right by that, you did again. You created something that, again, in that format, it's taller than anything should be in the historic district in Savannah, Georgia. Um, which there's like 3 people in the audience that would get that, but but again, if you bring it down to this, this is the side of Juarez Mexican restaurant in Savannah, Georgia. R.I.P. But it's that thing of like, it can be whatever you want it to be, which is cool. Like it has that versatility. There we go. I'm good with words. But it gives you that option. It gives you the ability to have it be anything. And the addition of the corners, the addition of all of the other stuff that you're doing is going to just make it even cooler. Hopefully, when those come out and stuff, I got a buttload of it already on order, so you'll have to come back on and we can have
Thank
another
you.
day. It'll be fun. Uh, but yeah, like I don't know, like what do you want to talk about, man? What do you want to tell the people? I mean, the whole idea of this is not shilling the product, but again, having a conversation with the dude who created it. Like, what is there anything you want to let people know about the product or just the process?
Yeah, one of the biggest things has always been with me is community building.
Yeah,
And what I think is cool and fascinating about this is, you're potentially a lot of the same people that we are friends with here back to Kickstarter. You could take your walls, if you only have a couple, you can go down to your friend's house. You guys can erect a big building by sharing your walls, right? There's community building that is a part of this, right? It's what helped me get here, right? And I want to make sure that resonates, right? So it is about the community. Get out there and build your walls with your friends, and take some dope photos with some dope toys.
hell
Is
yeah.
what I want to say. Have fun. And I'm always open. I might not be able to get to your message right away, but if you email me, Slack me, DM me, Instagram me, Facebook me, I will get to you eventually, and I will answer your question. I do
Not.
have some stuff to open though, if you want to open
Oh
toys.
yeah, hell yeah, dude, get to it. Let's go. Also, I have his Instagram and Facebook linked in the video description below. If you're not already following WallXD and High School Creations, please do. Oh shit, I remember that.
I found
Uh,
these in a vintage mall the other day, and I was like, I gotta get these.
dude, they're amazing. Um, like I'm not even that big a Walking Dead dude, but like props where props are due. You know what I mean? Like it's
Ahead of its time.
yeah. Unfortunately, too far ahead of its time, because
Yeah.
I feel like that line should have been so much more, but it kind of, um, pardon the phrase, shit the bed, uh, because it was like they went hot and heavy with it, And I remember for a time, I was working at Hot Comics and Collectibles here in the cities, and I was their toy buyer. So like I remember those coming in, and I had to create like shelves upon shelves just to hold what we had ordered because the sales dropped off so sharply.
Oh
It was
wow.
like oh dang. Um, yeah, man, I feel bad. I don't have. Do I have anything I can open in there?
I hadn't seen. We don't have to open anything. I've
Oh,
had
no,
these sitting around for months,
hey man, do it up. We're already talking about them.
and I had not ever really seen anything like this. And I guess I wasn't paying attention. When was this? When did this come out? 2000 something?
That would have been like
2014.
2014. Yeah, I was gonna say 13, 14, something around there.
Even
Uh,
comes with batteries. It's like Legos.
it has
It looks
lights.
very
Yeah,
much like Legos. Huh.
yeah. Isn't that weird? Like
Yeah.
it you literally build like so it builds like a Lego set, but it has finishes over the entire structure.
That's a dope idea. I did get this for research as well.
Yeah. No, it's a dude
Hopefully
again.
McFarlane's not listening.
Yeah. Somewhere Toddy Mac's like articulation. Um, just raging. Um, but I think that's again part of the fun of it is like looking back at some of those. I like legit. I have Snake Mountain and Castle Grayskull like right here. It's right behind my camera. So I look at them every day, going, I want to do that. Like I want to make something goofy and weird looking and crazy. And like the cool thing is like those are so high concept fantasy, right? Like they're just so out there. And then you come to something like this and it's like this can be for your superhero, this can be for normal people. You could put a picture, like a picture frame on this. You could do whatever, like it's literally so versatile, which is fun. And I one of the plans for three of these is it's going to be a tower right there, that will be made as well.
Nice.
But yeah. What just happened? Sorry, my chat just disappeared. COJ, if you have questions, please pop them back up because my chat just completely wiped out. God dang it. Sorry. Gotta love StreamYard. Um, son of my gun. But we're also approaching the top of the hour, I guess. So we can also wind it down to I guess if you want to tell the people where they can find you, Mike, and just kind of plug, man. I'm
Yeah.
gonna try and get the chat back up and running, and if we got more questions in there, I'll fire them off after that. But the floor is yours, my friend.
Thank you. Yeah, if you didn't hear, my name is Mike. It's right there on the screen. High School Creations. You can find me on most active on Instagram, High School Creations on Instagram. High School Creations all around the internet. So if you see High School Creations, more than likely it's affiliated with me in some way. But Instagram, YouTube is where I'm most active. Honestly, YouTube has slipped away from me this year just due to the Wall XD project, but we'll be getting back at it, sharing behind the scenes processes for Wall XD as well as with my normal builds as soon as time frees up. I go back to what I feel is most important for me, and that's community building. That's where I started on Instagram and YouTube. And if it wasn't for all you people watching, all the people part of the community, I don't know that I would be here. I appreciate everybody supporting and cheering on, anything that I've done. Yeah, I don't know if you can scan QR codes on a video, but if
Ooh,
anybody
hold on.
tries it, let me know if that works.
Hold on. Now I'm curious. It should work because I mean it's a
It's
QR
just,
code.
yeah, it should.
Yeah, it definitely works.
There you go. Now, like all those, and let me know what you think about Wall XD if you picked them up.
Boom. There we go. High School Creations like
Nice.
fell through. So make sure to go check that out. I'm really sorry I can't read any comments that are going through the chat right now. So sorry about that, guys. Once again, make sure to go follow Mike, go follow High School Creations. If you dig dioramas, if you have any 1/12 scale figures, do yourself a favor. Go pre-order one of these over on highschoolcreations.com. Again, the corners and accessories are going to be going up there. pretty soon, right? Or they're up for pre-order right now, but
Yeah, hoping to have the initial run off the molds for Decon. So if you guys are going to be in Las Vegas, November 14th to the 17th, come by and check out Designer Con. Should have the factory run of the corners to be able to get your hands on. That means I should have them December, assuming that the plant's not down for the holidays. But beginning of the year, those will start shipping along with the accessories. So right around the corner, just a few months from now.
Hell yeah. Oh, Darth would like to add, Mike, are you gonna grow out the beard again?
Once I get out of work mode, I'm constantly in work mode these days, so we'll see. But it's hot here in the South. You're from Savannah, you know how it is. I cut my hair and cut my beard because in the warehouse there's no AC,
Yeah,
and it's just gross feeling if you don't have, if you have a beard and long hair. So we'll see.
for sure. As always, I just want to say thank you for coming on, man. Thank you for creating this amazing beast right here. Props, congratulations, all that fun
Thank you.
stuff. Make sure to go follow Mike, follow High School Creations, follow Wall XD, all that fun stuff. Again, there's going to be a lot more of this on this channel in the coming months once I get done blowing up my studio. Darth says hashtag beard gang. But yeah. Like I said, or like he said, High School Creations pretty much everywhere. Go find him. That sounds weird. Go follow him on the social medias, not in person, because that's creepy. You can find me at my usual links below. Make sure to go check that out. Mike, hopefully I can get you back here for the for the marathon stream coming up in a couple weeks here at the beginning of November too. It's going to be a good time. Real quick, I want to give a quick shout out to all of the COJ who've been chiming off in the chat all night. Sorry I lost y'all for a little bit there, but I'm glad that you stopped on by. Please leave a comment below if you are planning on getting some Wall XD goodness in your life, because, go support this dude. He's a nice guy, I swear. But yeah, thank you, Shaggy. Appreciate you. Yeah, until next time, you know where to find me. Most importantly, you can find me over on extra-life.org/participant/davewonder. I've said that a few times. Go over there and make sure to donate. If you can't donate, then share. Get the word out there. Share it around. Let's help fight cancer for kids. Make sure that we can try and stop that bullshit wherever we can. So yeah, thank you, Mike. Thank you, COJ. Until next time, be good, be kind. Much love from Minnesota. Good night. Oh yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. I'm really bad at the YouTube thing. Good night, everybody. You too.